In the heart of South Central Los Angeles, where dreams often die young and the streets swallow potential, a legend was born. Not just a rapper, but a revolutionary. This is the rise and fall of Nipsey Hussle, aka Neighborhood Nip. Ermias Joseph Asghedom was born on August 15, 1985, in the Crenshaw district of South LA to an Eritrean father and African-American mother. Raised in the Rolling 60s neighborhood on Crenshaw and Slauson, one of the largest sets in the Crip gang, Nipsey was a product of the environment, caught between survival and purpose. He was smart, curious, and different. He loved technology, even built computers as a teen. But the pull of the streets was strong. Poverty, gang violence, and systemic neglect surrounded him like a cage. And eventually, he banged the set like so many others. Nipsey was rolling 60s, blue rag tied tight. But he wasn't just a gang member. He was a thinker, a hustler. The streets taught him codes, but the books he read taught him how to move like a boss. While his homies were banging blocks, Nipsey was plotting ownership. He saw early that the gang life had two endings, the pen or the grave, and he was determined to rewrite that narrative. He hit the streets with bars laced in realism. His first mixtapes, Bullets Ain't Got No Names, shook the underground. He wasn't just rapping about the streets. He was the streets, raw, authentic, unapologetic. In 2013, Nipsey flipped the industry on its head. He dropped Crenshaw and sold 1,000 copies at $100 apiece. Jay-Z bought 100 copies. That move wasn't just hustle, it was strategy. Nipsey showed the world what independence looked like. By the time Victory Lap dropped in 2018, he wasn't just a rapper. He was a businessman, an investor, and a beacon for change. Nipsey preached ownership. He opened the Marathon store right on Slauson and Crenshaw, the same block he used to hustle on. He bought back the block, hired felons, invested in STEM programs, and co-founded Vector 90, a co-working space to bridge the gap between inner-city youth in Silicon Valley. To the hood, he was more than a rapper. He was hope. But even legends can't outrun the curses of the streets. On March 31st, 2019, Nipsey Hussle was shot and killed outside his store, the Marathon Clothing, in South Central Los Angeles. The man who pulled the trigger was Eric Holder, someone Nipsey knew from the neighborhood and who was also affiliated with the Rolling 60 Crips, the same gang Nipsey was connected to. Earlier that day, Nipsey reportedly had a conversation with Eric Holder outside the store. Witnesses say Nipsey told Holder there were rumors he was a snitch and advised him to clear his name. Holder allegedly left the scene, came back about 10 minutes later, and opened fire. He shot Nipsey multiple times, including a fatal shot to the head, and kicked him in the head before running off. 2 other men were injured in the shooting, but survived. Holder fled the scene and was on the run for 2 days. He was captured on April 2nd, 2019, in Bellflower, California. He was charged with first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and possession of a firearm by a felon.
Minutes ago, Eric Holder was taken from the Lakewood Sheriff's Station to downtown LA. 3 undercover cars with tinted windows and sirens blaring pulled out of the substation and sped off. It is now confirmed that the 29-year-old is in custody for murder. Identified as Eric Holder, the Los Angeles man officers have been looking for since the rapper was shot to death Sunday in Hyde Park. The LAPD put out an all-points bulletin just after midnight to be on the lookout for Eric Holder. Then, just after 1 o'clock today, authorities say a call came in from someone in the city of Bellflower. That's about 20 miles from the scene of Hussle's killing. A man who looks like Holder, the caller said, had been spotted on Artesia Boulevard. Deputies took Holder into custody there. He has now been transferred to the LAPD. In an LAPD tweet, big red letters are plastered over Holder's face. In custody, the LAPD announced Eric Holder, the suspected killer of Nipsey Hussle, has been arrested. The tweet reads, "Thank you to both our community for the heightened awareness and to our partners at the LA County Sheriff's Department."
Eric Holder's trial began in June 2022. The prosecution claimed the killing was premeditated, fueled by personal anger and ego. The defense admitted he killed Nipsey, but argued it was a crime of passion, not premeditated. On July 6, 2022, the jury found Eric Holder guilty of first-degree murder and other charges. On June 28, 2022, during the high-profile murder trial of Eric Holder, he was violently attacked inside jail, specifically while in custody at the Los Angeles County Jail. Holder was in a holding cell, waiting to be transported back to court for trial proceedings. Reports say he was left unsupervised in a common area with other inmates, a major mistake given the high-profile nature of his case. At least one inmate spotted him and launched a brutal attack. Holder was reportedly jumped and savagely beaten, suffering. A cut to the back of his head, a swollen face, and according to some sources, he was slashed with a razor, although the LA Sheriff's Department didn't confirm that publicly. He needed medical treatment and was brought into court the next day with visible injuries, including a swollen left eye and stitches in the back of his head. Even behind bars, Eric Holder couldn't run from the consequences. Word spread. Nipsey's name held weight in those same cells, and when they got a chance, they handled him. Swollen face, bloodied head. The same fate he gave out almost came back to him. But the law still had to finish what the streets started. On February 22nd, 2023, Eric Holder was sentenced to 60 years to life in prison, 25 years to life for Nipsey's murder, 25 years to life for firearm enhancement, and an additional 10 years for the attempted murder of the two other men. After Nipsey's death, some people in street circles and internet communities began speculating that Big U may have felt disrespected or cut off when Nipsey became more independent and allegedly distanced himself. Nipsey and Big U reportedly fell out before his death, over business or street politics. Some believe that Eric Holder, the shooter, wouldn't have made such a bold move in Rolling 60 territory without a green light from higher-ups, leading to theories that Big U could have had some kind of indirect influence or knowledge.
Justice for them.
Big U has publicly denied any involvement in Nipsey's death. In interviews, he stated that he was hurt and deeply saddened by the murder. He also clarified that he and Nipsey hadn't been in touch recently, but there was no active beef between them. In a 2021 Clubhouse audio clip, some things were said that led to more rumors, but Big U later explained they were taken out of context. Big U's name keeps getting brought up because of his position in the Rolling 60s, past ties to Nipsey, and the politics of LA street life. But legally and publicly, there's nothing proving he had anything to do with the murder. It's all alleged and unconfirmed. They say jealousy is love and hate at the same time. And that day, it turned fatal. The man who preached unity was taken by division. a king murdered in the kingdom he tried to rebuild. Nipsey Hussle's body is gone, but his spirit echoes in every corner of Crenshaw, every independent artist grinding, every black entrepreneur taking ownership. He wasn't perfect. He was street. He was flawed. But he was real. And real ones don't die. They multiply. Rest in power, Nipsey Hussle. The marathon continues. This was the rise and fall of Nipsey Hussle, a street legend who turned pain into purpose. If you like this episode and want to see more episodes about Street Legends, then click the like and subscribe.